that side, the saw's all following.
We got a blade bent.
Yeah, you're going to hit the blow, so just pull back and just use your tip.
Okay. I got as far as I can go, JD. I think that's as far as I can get.
Good blade shot. Still good for a little bit, think?
It's okay, yeah, it's just bent. We should be good though. If it bends again, I'll grab one. I think he's trying to work all the way across with the cutter though.
If you can see down in there, I'm not saying you can't. If you can see down in there and finish that cut, go ahead.
I can come from here and work my way up.
If you can, don't worry about it.
Now the blade shot.
Right after that cut, just reach down and flip that up. That way you'll be able to get it a little bit quicker. You see what you gotta get now?
How far back do you want to roll? Oh, this is coming all the way off, isn't it?
Yeah, I need that whole piece. This to come out. So whatever you see that you need to cut.
Right.
It's going to be the fastest. Now, every once in a while you'll get a piece of metal, you just can't find it. You think you cut everything, you can't find it. Go ahead and throw your jaws in there and let your jaws rip it out. Alright? So use your jaws just to tear metal sometimes. Normally we don't want metal to tear. Back here would be great.
I don't want to get to it as much as I can.
Be safety conscious.
Mm-hmm.
Quicker for the saw to get it. Plastic bracket, got it. You cut that with a saw or with a pop out?
Cut it with a saw. You got my finger. Thank you.
Obviously, it has hinges and folds down. On a regular car, you're just going to have a solid back on it. And then at the base, you'll have 2 or 3 metal clips. If you see them, cut them. If you don't see them, and there's nobody in the back seat, you put your jaws under them and rip them out, right? Because we want all of it to go away. On these hinges, on this one, the fastest way I think to do it is take your jaws in there and put it under the seat and rip the hinges out. Because usually it's difficult to get your cutter tips around them. If you can, great. If you're having trouble, the jaws will work fine. Right? So you can go in and see if you can get on them, or we can take the jaws. If I were you, I'd try to spread this one for him. Give him a little room. I don't think there's anything quicker. The other side may be a little different.
Thank you.
I wouldn't even screw it. That one you should be able to just lift up from the rear. Sometimes, if you got the jaws, go ahead and use them. Don't worry about the bar, just get under the seat. Don't worry about the bar. Yeah, just... That's going to be a lot longer than... We can go over top of that thing, right? Okay, now we're going to talk about the front seats. You throttle me down a little bit. Alright, obviously, if it's a reclining seat, what do we want to do? Recline it. So we want to try to slide up in here, find the mechanism, release it, and bring the seat down. We're going to talk about having a driver in here. So, if that one's jammed, which this one probably would be because the weight's on top of it, go across and try the other one. It may come down, so at least we can get somebody up in there, hold C-spine, bag them, do whatever it is we got to do, and make patient contact. I'm going to tell you they're both jammed, so that we got to come up with, remember, don't just learn one way of doing things. How many ways should we learn?
As many as possible.
As many as possible, but at least 3 or 4. Because if you get someone who stands in front of you and he says, hey, do it the way I'm telling you to do this, because it'll work every time. What do you think? Yes. Full of shit. So, that's the guy who usually, what he did was, this guy gave him a book and he read it, and then this guy gave him a book and he read it, then he gave him a book and he read it. I'm a freaking genius now. No? So I'm going to call me an expert. I'm an expert. So I'm going to tell you to do it this way every time and it'll work. Bullshit. If you only learn one way of doing it, you're going to fail miserably. I don't care if you're cutting holes in roofs. I don't care if you're forcing doors on buildings. I don't care if you're doing extrication, rope, whatever. Learn one way, you're going to fail miserably because what's going to happen to you is that one way is not going to work and you're not going to know another way. So you're trying to figure it out on the scene. So why not learn 3 or 4 ways during training, right? So that's what we're going to do. So let's figure out 3 ways of getting that seat back down. And if you already know it because you've been through the class, be quiet for a minute. So what would be another way?
Cut the headrest.
Okay.
So you got a little bit of slack on the top.
Okay, might take the pressure off so the mechanism works. Okay, that'd be a good try.
Cut where the back meets the bottom part of the seat.
Yes, perfect. So if we cut that, we're cutting the support that comes out of the mechanism, right? We release it. Hey, do I have a backboard available? I'm going to keep asking for stuff. Every time I see you, I'm going to ask for something. Wait till tonight, I'm going to ask for a lot. Here's a good rule of thumb too on cutting the seat back. If I can find the mechanism and I know, commonly it's on the outside, but not always. Sometimes it's on the center. If I can find it and I can cut that side first, 9 out of 10 times the other side's just a pivot point and I get away with one cut. Now on the 10th one, both sides need cut because both sides actually hold the seat up. But if I can get away with it 9 out of 10 times making one cut, why not do that? All right. Electric seats, almost always, got to cut both sides because both sides support it. So, thinking about things. If I'm working on this car and the battery's still active because I can't get to it because it's buried under this vehicle, it's got an electric seat, I may be able to reach up in there and bring it down, electrically. Do I like that situation that I'm in? I don't like it at all. But if this is buried and people are trying to get to the front, trying to get to the battery, this would be the time where having the battery in the trunk would be the golden moment. But you know it's going to be in the front on this wreck. Now if this was all crushed in, it would be in the back. It's just the way that things work out. If people are pinned in the back seat, the battery's under the back seat. It just seems like that's the way it works. But by all means, try to get the battery disconnected. Try. Because that's one of the main things that we got to do. What do you think about this guy here? Do you think when he underrode this, he put it in park and turned it off?
No, it's actually still on drive.
It's still on drive and maybe still running. So, priorities? That guy we sent in first, get up there and shut the key off. Get up in there. At least we got that done. I mean, we had a car that went into a condo. Wasn't really an underride, but it was into a building, and the woman was having a seizure, and her foot had the car floored, and the tires were spinning, and